Chelsea's most difficult game of the season has finally turned out to be Chelsea's most easiest game of the season. See, let's not forget, this is against Barcelona, one of the best teams in Europe. In fact, one of the contenders to win the Champions League, because they are so good in all departments, from the midfield, to the attack. They are very, very good. Yes, they're having some problems in defense. We understand that fact. But this is Barcelona. Let's not forget. Chelsea have had their revenge. Chelsea have their revenge from the 2009 events that happened at Stamford Bridge. Let's not forget that. What a game for Chelsea. What a performance for Estevao. This is an Estevao versus a Yamal game. See, yes, these are two young talents in Europe. This is the future of football. This is the future of rivalries in football. What a game for Chelsea. See, once Chelsea is being written off, that is when they turn up. Remember that same thing happened against PSG. Remember that same thing happened, against Liverpool. Once you write Chelsea off, also in the Champions League against Bayern Munich in 2012, once you write Chelsea off, just know that you are doing yourself more harm than good. What a game for Chelsea. See, there's a lot of things to talk about this game. A whole lot. The high line of Barcelona is currently suffering. The high line of Barcelona at this point is not get K-leg because it was a whitewash for Barcelona. Barcelona don't know what hits them at this point because Chelsea were all over them from the beginning of the game till the end of the game. Chelsea dominated this game. Chelsea showed Barcelona how to play the high line. Chelsea showed Barcelona how to play possession-based football. Chelsea showed Barcelona on how to, control the game. What a performance from every Chelsea player in this game. The Chelsea's midfield held this game to steal. The Chelsea's midfield controlled this game at every phase of play. What a performance from Caicedo. What a performance from Enzo. What a performance from Reece James. What a performance also from the Chelsea defense. We have to give it to the Chelsea defense. These guys today stepped up. Yamal was missing. Yamal was deactivated. Yamal was cancelled. Yamal was put in the pocket by Cucurella. See, senior man and senior man, don't worry. Yamal was silenced today. What a game for every Chelsea player who stepped out today. 3-0 against Barcelona is never an easy feat, but Chelsea did it, and they did it very, very well. Chelsea knows how to play big teams. Let's not forget. Chelsea have played several big teams who most of the time, are favorite to beat Chelsea, but Chelsea comes out on top to do very well. This game has shown that you can never underrate Chelsea. This game has shown that you can never undervalue what Chelsea can do. Chelsea is that team that will always turn up when you least expect, and this is what they've done today. What a fantastic game also for Enzo Maresca. This guy has been criticized most of the time. Yes, we understand Chelsea's inconsistency have put Chelsea in that box where, because of the young talents, young players that is in this squad, you might want to write them off. I understand that for a fact. But let's not forget how talented this squad is and how young this squad is. Against the Barcelona team that have a 37-year-old Lewandowski, against the Barcelona team that have a 28-year-old Frankie de Jong, against the Barcelona team that have a 28-year-old Rafinha, who came third in the Ballon d'Or 2 months ago. Against those kind of players who go to the semi-final of the Champions League. Yes, you might want to say Chelsea are one champions. I understand that for a fact. But look at how this player turned up. Look at how every player in this team turned up today. Even Delap, who came into the game, got also a goal. This is what you need to get from every single player of Chelsea. If and only if Chelsea can be consistent, Chelsea would not be where they are currently in the Premier League table. Look at the loss against Sunderland at home. Look at those games that Chelsea were leading. Look at the red cards. The red card against Brighton. Look at the red cards against Manchester United. Those were games that Chelsea were supposed to pick up a point or also win the games. So if only Chelsea can be consistent. Look at the last game against Karabakh in the Champions League. Chelsea dropped points in a very, very bad manner because Chelsea were supposed to at least pick up all 3 points. So one of Chelsea's problems this season has been inconsistency. This team is talented. This team can do very well. They have a very good coach. I have never called for the sack of Maresca, no matter how bad the game is. But I have always called him out to do better, if Chelsea are doing badly. So consistency is one thing for Chelsea that has been lacking this season. They can do well. They can play football. They can control pace. They can high line. They can press high line. But one of Chelsea's problem is that consistency. Can they break teams? Can they do this every single week? Can they meet a PSG team tomorrow and win comfortably like this? Yes, they've done it at the Club World Cup. Can they meet an Arsenal team next weekend and play 3-0 and beat them without conceding a goal? Can they go and win games, consistently without getting red cards? These are the kind of questions we need to ask. This is a Chelsea team that did very well against Barcelona. But the highlight of the season is not only about winning these big games. The highlight of the season is not only about winning one game and giving your fans so much hope for you and so much hope for the future. What about tomorrow? What about those games that Chelsea needs to always pick up points? This is what is more important. Yes, you can call it inexperience. I understand that for a fact. But Chelsea needs to keep showing this kind of performance. Chelsea needs to keep showing up every single time. For the game against Barcelona, look at how Chelsea took the game away from Barcelona. Look at how Chelsea controlled the pace of the game. Chelsea were supposed to either, sit deep and hit Barcelona on the break or press high and, Barcelona hit on the break as well, to force Barcelona to mistake. But guess what? Chelsea did both. So Chelsea has actually confused the Barcelona team and Barcelona's manager because, see, the best way, to win games is to attack, right? I understand that. But the best way also, to win games can be tactics, can be from a tactical point of view. And as Maresca have come out tops most of the time against these big teams. Look at how Chelsea were written off at the Club World Cup final. This is the consistency I want to see. This is how Chelsea should, be portrayed outside as that team that is very consistent, just like this Arsenal. Look at how Arsenal has been good defensively this season. But today's game against Barcelona was very, very good. So many players did well. So many players performed well. We have to give it to the likes of Enzo. We have to give it to the likes of Caicedo. We have to give it to the likes of Neto. So many players, even as bad as Gusto is, he still performed. He still did well. He still showed how good they've been. Estevao is another talent. Estevao is another player. Estevao is that player that can create something out of nothing. Look at what he did today against the Yamal, against the Barcelona. 3 back-to-back games goals scored in the Champions League for an 18-year-old Brazilian who is just coming into the Premier League, who is just coming to Europe, playing for a big club like Chelsea with so much pressure on his shoulders. Let's not forget, Palmer did not even play this game. Look at the intensity of Chelsea. Look at the high press. Look at what Chelsea has shown, Barcelona has shown the world that they can do. But let us see this consistently. Let us see this every single week, week in, week out. That is what puts you there with these teams. A team can have a bad day, but can your team also be consistent as well? That is the question, we need to ask. Barcelona has not conceded in 24 games. Barcelona rather has not scored, has not failed to score a goal in 24 games. But Chelsea silenced the attack today. What a performance. See, this game, there's a lot of talking points today about this game. But today was that game for Chelsea. Araujo is another liability for Barcelona. Barcelona defense is suffering. The attack is showing that, yes, they can be an off day, but they need to step up. They need to start stepping up now because there's a lot. They've already lost the game against PSG this season. They've already done a lot. They drew the last game against Club Brugge in the Champions League. But this Barcelona team is currently suffering and they need to pick up themselves and do it very, very quick. Kudos to every Chelsea player that played today. Kudos to Maresca and the boys. Let me know what you think concerning this game. Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel. Please hit the notification bell so I come your way again next time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.